This is Tim Burchett. He is a Republican from Tennessee, a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, also a member of the Oversight and Accountability Committee. Representative Burchett, thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.
As a Foreign Affairs Committee member, what questions are going through your mind these days and your colleagues in the committee when it comes to the events in Iran?
Well, I can't speak for any of the members, but myself, I'm curious about the containment of the nuclear waste, if there is any. I worry about our friends like in Bahrain who've been faithful to us and been a good ally, making sure that there is not any a nuclear cloud or any that gets into the sea right there that could flow right down to them. They're 90 miles from one of those nuclear installations. So I guess my questions are just a little different than everybody else's.
A lot of people asking the question of whether it was appropriate or not to do the strikes in the first place. Where do you fall on that?
I think it was appropriate. Everybody can agree that Iran should not have any nuclear capabilities. To say that this is for nuclear energy is just a joke. They're raising it up to 60%. There's no nuclear reactors in the world that operate on that. I believe they operate from about 4 to 6% uranium. So I think that what you're going to see is that most people around the world agree that the strikes were done appropriately and they were needed. Nobody wants to go to war, but except the lobbyists and the people that are invested in war, that their stock portfolios are in our implement programs, but overall, I think it was a very big success for the president.
To what degree do you think there's disagreement within the Republican Party itself, even members on Capitol Hill, whether that action should take place or not?
It's very limited at all. There's just one or two maybe that disagree with that. Again, you're not gonna. You're trying to do something honorable with a dishonorable people, and Iran is definitely dishonorable. Their leadership, and the fight is not with the people, it's with their leadership, and they've continuously sponsored terrorism around the world. We know when we pulled out of out of Afghanistan, that they were being armed, and they've armed terrorist organizations around the world, and they've taken quite a few shots at this country over the past decade or so, and this, I think, settles that score, but it also shows American superiority in our military and our intelligence, and also the Israeli intelligence. You know, when they started their initial bombing, they took out their top 3 people. And, you know, and I would caution folks about regime change in the Second World War. At the beginning of that war, everybody wanted to take out Hitler, but towards the end of the war, intelligence realized that Hitler was a pretty pitiful leader, militarily speaking, that is. And and they didn't want to take him out because we were winning the war, and they were afraid that number 2 could have been much worse. Now we got to worry about the number 4, or if we depose the Ayatollah, or if he's taken out at some point, who is the number 2, and could that be worse for the world? And so those are the kind of things I think we need to be contemplating.
Is there a slippery slope that you may be concerned about concerning the actions we've taken so far and what could come next?
Yes, I don't want to see American boys and girls on the ground. I have an 18-year-old daughter. She shares a birthday with the president, oddly enough. And I dare say that I don't want to see this Congress or any other Congress voting for war in Iran. It's a country most of the members probably couldn't even find on the dadgum globe. So I would have a lot of consternation about us going to war and putting American boys and girls on the ground over there.
Speaker Johnson talked about this effort to pass a War Powers Act that would limit the president's ability to declare or participate in military actions. What do you think about that effort?
I think that any effort to do something like that really weakens our president in the eyes of our enemies around the world. I think there's time to do that. We can put a bill up in the next day if we have to declare war or enact the War Powers Act or whatever. So I think right now doing that would be a little bit. I think it would be have a negative impact on America and our fighting forces around the world.
Representative Tim Burchett is our guest, and if you want to